Learning. We are delighted to convey you all that the Data Science Club has brought to you a machine learning bootcamp to give you an overview of this ever-evolving AI/ML and data science domain with a quick hands-on project to upsurge your learning curve. To begin with, I would like to invite our Data Science Club head, Charchit Jain, to deliver the welcome speech.
Good afternoon to all of you. Today, on behalf of Data Science Club of VIT Bhopal, I'm extremely overwhelmed to welcome our honorable guest, Mr. Rajiv Kant, our division head, Dr. Pon Harshvardhan sir, our faculty coordinator, Dr. Abha Trivedi ma'am, program chair, Dr. Vaishali ma'am, and everyone present in ML Bootcamp. Machine learning is becoming one of the most popular subfields of data science and artificial intelligence. It is a concept that is extensively taken in the use almost everywhere, be it healthcare, be it chatbots, be it finance, etc. So today we have organized this bootcamp to for all of you to learn more about machine learning from a very well-known person who has an outstanding background in the field of ML, along with being an entrepreneur who has an out who is being a podcaster, AI COE, and the list goes on. It is a great honor for us to host this event and make it a successful one. As it's always said, we should do extreme to take things forward. Now it's time to start our event without any delay. Thank you.
Thank you, Charchit. Next, I would like to invite our division head, Dr. Pon Harshvardhan sir, to address the gathering.
So, good afternoon, all of you. Firstly, I would like to thank and welcome uh, Mr. Rajiv Kant, who is kindly accepted our invitation. I welcome you. Yeah. So, thanks for accepting our invitation.
No
Please be
problem.
aware.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Please be
pleasure to
aware.
be here.
So, thank you very much. Please be at home. Think that you are part of this institution.
Yeah.
We are happy to accommodate you whenever it is possible. Thanks for accepting our
Sure.
invitation.
Thank you so much.
Then I would like to congratulate the faculty coordinators, Dr. Vaideshalai, Dr. Abha Trivedi, who has taken immense effort in organizing this program. As I always cherish my soldiers, firstly the president, vice president, secretary, all the office bearers of this data science club. I welcome you all and I congratulate you. Then I would like to welcome the participants of this event, bootcamp event. So like this, we are planning to organize many such events wherein your presence is required. I heard that today's session is on machine learning and data science, and there is a hands-on project also. Please get benefited out of this workshop or bootcamp. Continue your support for our data science club. You can also be a member of this club. This year, we are going to again start the membership process. You are all welcome. So give your patronage. Thank you and wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. A baby learns to crawl, walk, and then run. We are in the crawling stage when it comes to applying machine learning. With this quote, I would like to introduce our very special guest, Rajeev Kant sir, who is a well-known entrepreneur, author, AI COE, and a podcaster, an individual who has transformed his career from well-paid mechanical engineering job to AI and data science job role and helped a lot of individuals in his journey. Machine learning is the use and development of computer systems that are able to learn and adapt without following explicit instructions by using algorithms and statistical models to analyze and draw inferences from the patterns in data. Machine learning is incredibly complex, and how it works varies depending on the task and the algorithm used to accomplish it. However, as its core, a machine learning model is a computer looking at data and identifying patterns, and then using those insights to complete its assigned task more efficiently. What does the industry expect from a beginner in machine learning? Keeping this question in mind, let's begin with our first session of our 2-day bootcamp. I'd like to invite our chief guest to begin with the session.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. And hi, VIT Bhopal. How are you, by the way? And thank you, faculty, and all the people who invited me for this wonderful boot camp. And it's a pleasure and an honor to stay here and to share a few things which I'm pretty much aware of it. So, hi, good evening. Sorry, good afternoon. I think, can we have a brief, means, can I see the chat here? Means, is it chat enabled for the people or it's more like, is it
Yes, sir, it's
interactive or
enabled.
it's enabled, right? I can see the chat, but not. I can't actually see the chat. I think.
I think you will see in terms of Q&A at the top of the window,
Yes.
on the right hand side, there
Mhm.
are three icons, right? People,
One moment.
reactions, and Q&A.
Means I can see only raise hand and participants here. I don't know. Means I'm opening like web browser window. Is that fine, right?
Top like a question mark, it will be that like a question mark from that question and answer Q only.
Hmm. No, for me it's not coming. I think shall I join from another app? I think from the downloaded link. Means I'm opening it through web browser. Maybe few functionalities are off. I think so.
So either we can enable mic for the attendees, then they can.
No, not required, not required. I think the chat icon is not there in my system. Means it's saying like chat and channel meetings is only available to team members.
Now, sir, send a message. Can you see the chat window, sir? Now, hi message we
No,
have sent it. Can you see
no,
that?
not exactly. I'm unable to see anything.
Okay.
So shall I join from my desktop thing? Means
Yes, you try,
Microsoft, which
sir.
is I will be
Yes,
trying once through my desktop. Yeah.
we will wait. You can join.
So see, once I think you are able to view me and I'm audible, right? I think once you need to check it. Even still, are there any access? Means like I'm not in. Means only organizers can see or what exactly? I can't actually see any chat here. Chat is disabled for me.
You
Oh,
can actually you can add sir in the team, so maybe it is visible to sir.
so all right. I think you people can anyone can read out the chat for me in case if anyone throws something. Okay, that would be better.
Yeah, sure, sir. Deepti will do that,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, I can't actually see your chat. It's got disabled in my system. All right. So I will be going with machine learning. It's booming. I think machine learning is booming. AI is booming. All these things are booming. I want to show you something interesting, which even I posted it today. Up to what extent I think AI is able to move. Let me just share my screen. I think you are able to view my screen, right? Once confirm me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is called as DALI, dal.e. Anyone are aware of this DALI? Anyone are aware of DALI, which is created by OpenAI, so the research lab. So this DALI is having one important feature, which we call it as, if you are able to give a text, we can imagine this DALI as a artist. Well, let me show you one simple example. So students on space, let's imagine. I just want to see students on space. Let us wait. I gave a text caption and I'm leaving it to my neural network. This is constructed on top of AI itself. So we call this AI as a common sense of AI. I'll be speaking about the same thing. You are able to see some students on space, able to see some students on the space. So here, some drawings again. So again, some drawings, like again, space in the sense some globe kind of thing. Or I just want to give it like what we can type. We can type something like, or we can type astronaut driving bike. Let us wait. Is there anything like astronaut driving the bike? I think we never saw an astronaut driving a bike. Let's imagine in real. Let us have a look how exactly it is doing. Yeah, you got few images where exactly the astronaut is driving the bike, some illustrations, some drawings. It need to be like a digital art. I want it need to be even a digital art. I'm typing digital art kind of thing. So you're able to see it's more, which this is having more clarity. It's a digital art, so it is having more clarity. Let's keep the same digital art. So eyes having a candlelight dinner. Again, let me eyes having a candlelight dinner, digital art. So here you are able to see eyes and some candles and some dinner. So let me just stop this. This is called as DALI, which is a neural network which is constructed on top of, as I said, neural networks, so which are similar to a human neural network. So what exactly humans are having, the similar way, this neural network is able to create this kind of what is that images. So I call this as we can say, as we are saying, the common sense. What exactly meant by common sense in this lines here is one second. Yeah. So now whenever we are saying like common sense, or we can call it as dark matter of artificial intelligence, before discussing all these divisions, again, I just want to see different examples of AI. Where can we see different examples of machine learning or AI? Any clue? Where exactly we can see different examples or applications of AI? We all know that, oh my God, AI is there in healthcare, it is there in banking, the machine learning is here, machine learning is there. So now, can you give any some examples of where exactly AI is available? Let's understand it more in lines of the business. Means like all you people are students, and once you completed with your education, you want to go and you want to survive in a call in a particular company. You want to crack a job. So how all these things are working? That's what we will be discussing more. Can anyone throw some examples of AI or ML, machine learning, whichever you are familiar with? I think I can't see the chat. Please, if anyone are able to throw it, you can just guide me on the chat or examples. Or even if you want, you can give the mic access to the learners, at least if you don't mind, if you don't want that things, or Anything is okay for me, even if you
Yes,
can
sir.
read out the
Mics
chat.
are enabled. Sir, enabled.
Yeah. If anyone, like you can throw some light on what is the usage of AI or ML. People who want to speak, you can just unmute and you can speak.
One person has commented Alexa.
Alexa is an example, absolutely. Alexa is an example. Yes, that is an example of ML or AI. Next.
So robots in car production company.
Yes, robots and car production, it is also an example of AI and ML. Let me show you few examples which you are able to see it on our phone. Let me open one small thing. Let me type hi. So see this, I think you're able to see my screen. When I typed hi, you're able to see some suggestions here. There is something like bro, there is something like I. You're able to see some predictions. Or let me type again how. So let me give a space. You're able to see how much, how, or again are or many, able to see that. So now you're able to see text predictions. Is it a combination? It is also an example of AI or machine learning. One more example. How many of you here are using Snapchat? And how many of you are using that filters where exactly if you are able to give your image, it is able to make you as a male or a female? At least you can raise the hands. So, which is also an example of AI or ML. And another example, how many of you are writing emails to your faculty or to your friends? How many of you write an email? Just like someone wrote an email, you're reverting back. How many of you do that? Again, most of the people do that. While you're writing, are you able to get some, once an email is able to get, you're able to see that overall segregated answers. You can just hit on that and you can send it. For example, someone wrote a very big email. It's already said, that's okay. Or someone is said a link. You can just say noted. All the predictions you are able to set, you can just do it. And while you're writing email, you're able to get that auto completion. Anyone saw that while you're typing, you get auto completions? If you hit on tab, it is able to complete your sentence. Anyone tested it? You can raise hands. I can see your hand rising. Please, anyone? While you're writing an email, it can automatically complete. Yes, which is also example of your AI or ML. And another example we can see of AI ML is like when you're browsing your Instagram, the more content you're viewing, you get more similar recommendations. Anytime you saw it, the recommendations which you are getting, right? Yes, and again, you can go back to Mintra, like buying dresses. So now, while you're buying a dress, you get a recommendation. Hey, someone similar to you bought even this dress. Why you are not buying this? Why you are still buying that old jeans? Why can't you try this? Anytime you got that recommendations in Mintra, my bad. Yes, it is also like your again AI and ML. And again, where you can see YouTube, yes, there is also AI ML. And the way you are chatting, you can see AI ML. While you are shopping, you can see AI ML. While you are browsing your Instagram, you can see AI ML. So again, one more example. While you're getting the notifications, all notifications are segregated into one. Have you noticed it? While you're getting notifications, all notifications are grouped to one. Means like based on the type or category. Like notifications based on Gmail into what category? Notifications from messages into another category. Notifications from banking into one more category. Anytime you notice that categorization of the notifications in your phones, which is also again your AI ML. And one more example, nowadays we are most of the people are wearing the smart watches where exactly it is able to recognize their heartbeat and it is giving some alarms like predictive means like before you're falling, it is giving some siren kind of thing. So all these things are AI ML. So and again, when you go back to your cars, you are taking your car backside or you're doing the reverse of it, there is some obstacle coming or another car is coming, it is giving an alarm. It is able to recognize there is something behind you and it is able to recognize. And one more example, very simple example, which you are able to see, like when you get an email, the emails are segregated into spam folder and an inbox folder. Anytime you noticed it, when you write an email, they got segregated into spam folder and some into your inbox folder. Anytime you notice this in your Gmail, anyone? Raise your hands. Again, yeah, which is also one of your example of AI ML. So we are able to see AI ML in every field, in everything which we are doing in our day-to-day life. So from a game to understand, so games are coming up with AI ML, your Instagram is coming up with AI ML. If you listen to anyone are having this kind of thing, means like the ritual, or anyone are having this motto that to watch the events of iPhone release or Samsung phone release and all that. Do you have any such kind of means like anyone follow that those events, iPhone event or Samsung events? Anyone do that here? Listening to how these people present an iPhone, or if you are able to go to your laptop releases, very few people we are able to see. So when you are able to listen to these events, phone release or a laptop release or any of these releases, one of the common thing they are speaking right now is AI ML. So our phones are designed on top of AIML. So whatever this one, the images we are able to get, the beautification of the images we are getting, it's because of AIML. So AIML is everywhere. Now here comes Kant. What I need to prepare in order to get into this AI ML field? Anyone got this doubt? People who got this doubt, can you please raise it? Let me just go with few questions. Every fresher or everyone are having the same doubt is what to learn. First thing, apart from what to learn, so for example, what is the way to learn? There are different terminologies: machine learning, deep learning, AI, predictive analytics, or data mining. Again, different tools: Python, AWS, Java, Ruby, or something like Tableau, Power BI, SQL, statistics. So what are all the things I need to learn? So what makes me to get a job end of the day? Can someone hire me as a ML engineer so that I can just get a better salary? Anyone are having this kind of doubts? Anyone are having this kind of doubts? You can raise your hands. Anyone are having these doubts? Very few people. That's it. Very few. There are a lot of people here. We got only few raising have the hands. All right. I think these are some of the questions. And first thing, one more doubt I have it. Why someone need to do machine learning? Anyone even got this doubt? Why someone need to do machine learning? Is it to remove the humans and to hire the robots? First thing. So why someone need to do machine learning? Again, oh my God, machine learning is coming. It is just replacing all the human work. My God, my bad. So it is removing all the humans. We are firing the humans. So why we need to have a machine learning? So let me go from the same point. So we knock the door of machine learning for one major reason is every time the purpose of machine learning can be evaluated at three different zones. One, we call it as value. So by applying machine learning, there need to be a value. By applying machine learning, there need to be an increase in efficiency. So by applying machine learning, there need to be an increase in automation. Let me take a very simple example. The chances nowadays, the way we edit the images, is it a bit fast tracked? Is it now all the images need to be edited nowadays with the help of filters? You don't need to edit your images, first thing. Second, even in your phones as well, you are able to get all the beautifications. Automatically, your cameras are able to smooth your face. It is making you as beautiful as possible. Is it right? Are you spending a lot of time on editing your images when compared to old days? Are you spending more time on editing your images? Anyone here who are spending a lot of time to edit your images? Not exactly. So the automation means like with a less amount of human involvement, we are able to edit our images with a very beautiful thing. And the second thing is efficiency got improved. The quality of the images got improved. The clarity of the images got improved. That's where, so because of these two things, so most of the people are installing even Snapchat as not a messenger, but they install Snapchat for the sake of only taking the images. Now, what is the value here? So now what exactly iPhone people are doing is they are trying to promote this face unlock, or they are trying to promote this kind of features, and they are able to sell their phones. And one more example is like, let's go with Instagram. So Kant, you gave an example with phone. What is the value and Instagram able to get it? Can anyone? If you want, you can speak. So by applying machine learning, what is the value Instagram is able to get? Every time, keep this point at the brain. So I think, what is your branches? May I know that? All you people are from CSC or you're from different branches? All you people are from CSC or you're from the different branches?
So mostly are from CSC only.
Most of the people are from CSE. Wonderful.
Yes.
So now, what is the value? Even as a CSE guy, you need to know this. What is the value we are able to add it? We are discussing everything around value. So, what is the value of an Instagram by using machine learning with an Instagram or in a YouTube? Can anyone? It can be, you can unmute and you can speak, no problem. No one is speaking. Throw some light. Any guess? No problem. It can be a guess as well. Why Instagram is using machine learning?
Make their work easier so that they can show relatable post or
Okay, let me explain it in lines of value. Now, what is the goal of Instagram? Instagram is a social media platform. So now, when most of the people are sitting on top of Instagram, or when most of the people are sitting on top of YouTube, so that is what exactly we call it as more subscriptions. There are more subscriptions for Instagram. That's what we call it as the number of users in Instagram, the number of users in YouTube. So the more the users are, I think what happens, every business owners need to promote their advertisement on that particular platforms. That's what YouTube is doing. YouTube is promoting advertisements, YouTube ads. Instagram, you're able to get the advertisements while you're browsing the things. This is the first thing. You want a more traffic. When you're having more traffic and when you're able to have more users, automatically the business people are able to promote it. And the second is like, what is the goal of Instagram? When a person going to stick on more time, the goal of Instagram or YouTube or any social media platform is to make the users to spend more time. So how can a user spend more time when he is able to get the content which he is more relevant with? For example, how an Instagram is able to know what, for example, some ex Deepthi is able to know, or how can I make Deepthi to spend more time on my Instagram? Is very simple. She is browsing and she is able to click on. So what she is liking it, what she is saving it, what she is sharing it, or sharing, saving, and liking, these three things, or even commenting. These are the way how people interact more in Instagram. Just imagine you go to Instagram, try to save more, try to like more, try to share more. In this way, what you are doing, the same thing, you are able to get more recommendations on the same thing. Have you noticed it any time? What you are liking it, or what you are viewing it, or what you are sharing it, what you are saving it, that's what your Instagram try to feed in on top of your feed, on your real search, on your normal search, whatever you're doing, you're able to see the more content. Now by giving you the content which you like it, my Instagram is able to make more time with every user. So the goal of Instagram is I want user to spend more time. When users are spending more time, various business people are able to promote it. While business owners are promoting it, there are chances that these people going to click on it and there may be some sort of sales. So is it a value for Instagram? Is it a value? By using machine learning. So where I'm using machine learning in order to understand what is similar to my customers, I want to give it to it. So is it something value to Instagram? What do you say? This kind of thing, is it value to Instagram and YouTube? If it is yes, please raise your hand in case why I can't see your chat. So if it is yes, please raise your hands. Is it a value? Absolutely wonderful. So next thing, after adding a value with Instagram, one more example is we can go with Spotify. Even in a Spotify, let's take with one feature, we call it as I will be giving you customized ads, or I will be giving you the customized music, but you want to pay 150 rupees per month. Do you want to invest it? If you are able to pay 150 rupees, I will be giving you customized songs in your Spotify or in your Google Music. Do you want to pay, or do you want to invest 150 rupees per month? If it is yes, please give raise hands. In case we can say like no, then go for the raise hand. I don't want to invest 150 rupees per month. So can you raise hands? No in the sense you need to raise hand. Yes in the sense you don't need to do that. So these are the people who don't want to invest 150 rupees. Now see this. Now you can go with an example of Spotify. So Spotify, they are asking the value or they're expecting that money from the customer. But the same feature, for example, if you are able to compare between YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. Out of all the three, Spotify, all the three are free services, and Spotify is able to give you customized music. No need to pay anything. Even Apple is not giving any customized music, but free. So YouTube is also not charging you anything from you, but it is also free. But Spotify is also not charging anything, not even a single rupee. But while you are listening to the music, it is able to recommend you the right music based on the way you are searching or listening. Because of that, the way you are able to listen to the music is changed. You are able to discover a lot of new songs, lot of new music, and you are seriously loving that app. So which one you want to spend more time? Spotify, Apple, or your what is that? Your YouTube Music. So which one you want to go for? Is it Spotify? If it is Spotify, say yes. Raise your hands. Is it Spotify? Now, again, see, your here Spotify is adding a value. What is the type of value? It is improving the efficiency of the way how your Spotify is performing or how it is working. Now, without a value, is there any point to work on machine learning? Without a value, is there any point to work on machine learning? If there is no value, is there any point to work on machine learning? The answer is seriously no. When there is no value, there is no point in working on machine learning. How exactly in industries work is in every industry, we work on machine learning on basis of two things. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So you're able to view my screen, right? Once have a look over it. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Able to, yeah. So here I'm writing it as C. C stands for complexity and A stands for, or we can say V, A stands for value. So which one is having, for example, this is the one, there is a great value and there is a very less amount of complexity. And there is one more thing, a very huge amount of complexity, but less amount of value. And another one is like there is a moderate amount of complexity and a moderate amount of value. And there is a very high complexity and a very high value. So which one you want to pick? Out of all the four, which one you want to pick? There are 4 points on this graph. Which one you want to pick? This is complexity and this is value. Which one you want to pick? Let me give the numbers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which one you are planning to pick it out of this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Complexity versus a value. Which one you want to pick?
Fourth one.
You want to pick fourth one. Why? There is a very less amount of complexity and there is a very less amount, there is a very huge amount of value. Now here comes one more doubt. Let me show you a few things. You are all aware of if statements. How many of you are aware of if statements here? If statements. How many of you are aware of if statements? Can you say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If statements, right? If else statements, if elif statements, all this you're aware of it. Now let me show you one small thing. This is constructed using machine learning. So let me give my age, let me give my height, and let me give my weight. So when I'm giving my age, height, and the weight, it is able to give me a plan. Let us see. So now it said you are overweight and you need to follow the diet. Now this is constructed on top of machine learning. Can't you do the same thing using if statements? What do you say? Can't we do the same thing using if statements? Let me show you. So now is the same thing working? See this? Can you write down like this? You're checking height and the weight, providing it as an input. And there is a formula written. Weight is divided by height into height square or height into height. And based on the BMI, so if this is the level, I think you are checking with the Phillips statements. So it is able to give the BMI. In the similar way, you can write it down with the OOPS as well. And you are able to get this kind of BMI check. You are able to say obese or so. So when you are able to achieve the same task with if statements, why you need to go and you want to build something using machine learning like this? This is constructed with machine learning. And the same thing is constructed here. This is the scripting. The same thing I constructed with if statements. So what is the difference? When to go for a machine learning, when to go for your what is that? Your machine learning, or when to go for your user, this kind of direct coding it, hard coding it. Let me prepare a small Excel sheet. Let's work on the same thing. And then I will be explaining you the theory. So we are slowly getting into the theory. Yeah. So here, how many of you are aware of if statement? So let's take a small example, BMI check. So the BMI check can be done using hard coding, or I can say logic programming. So using what? It's basic. You don't need to have a machine learning knowledge. You don't need to have a lot of statistics, lot of mathematics, linear algebra, calculus. You don't need to even have the knowledge about your research papers and all that. It's basic logic programming. You need to have a knowledge about if else statements. Can't you learn if else so quickly? If else and elif. This kind of, can't you learn this? Is it difficult to learn or is it easy? If statements, conditional statements. Is it difficulty or hard?
It is easy.
What do you say? It's easy, right? So now the same thing in order to work on machine learning. The same thing we can do it on machine learning, but to do it on machine learning, yes, you need to have Python knowledge. The same Python knowledge. Here I can say only Python knowledge is sufficient. I don't need to have any etc. knowledge. I can just have Python knowledge just to work on if else statements. So it is just a Python. But here in machine learning, you need to have a knowledge about Python. You need to have a knowledge about statistics. You need to have a knowledge about business. You need to have a knowledge about domain. You need to have a knowledge about math. In the math, you have the calculus or linear algebra. So, or even if you want, you can have a knowledge about deployment. So I think if you want to pick a BMI calculator or a BMI check, now which one you want to pick? You want to pick it through machine learning or you pick it through this if statements? Which one is the right choice for you? Which one is quick? Machine learning? Why? I think you need to learn a lot, right? For example, I'm a layman. I want to learn right now. Even I don't know programming. I don't even know machine learning. I just came to know about these two differences. So which one you choose? You choose only Python alone, or you want to learn all this and you want to do the same task? Only with a Python, I'm doing the same task. Even with a machine learning, I'm doing the same task. Which one you basically pick? If you are a layman, new to both, even programming and machine learning, which one you choose?
Python.
My choice, yeah, even my choice is also with Python. So now when to go for machine learning? Why machine learning is having lot of these topics. You have a Python, you have a stats, business, domain, math, and all that. Let us just understand the manual process of BMI check. First, as a learner or as a developer, I'm giving a as a developer view. As a developer, what I basically do is first step, I knew Python. Very good. Or I can just search it and I can do it. So second step, in order to create a BMI check, so any of the, for example, if I'm asking you BMI check, you will be going to the internet, you search for BMI formula. So when you're searching for BMI formula, I think you are able to get this BMI formula here. Is it anywhere here? It is, let me see, anywhere or images. Yeah, I got anywhere. Yeah, weight by height square. So I already got a formula. So my step here is I already got from internet. And next one is what is the range of it? For example, in order to run a if statement, so what is overweight, what is underweight? So again, if you go back to the internet, BMI calculator or BMI chart, I can just type BMI chart. So even in this BMI chart, there are a few things. Varies. Yeah, here we got the BMI chart. So if the BMI value is less than 18.5, underweight, normal weight, overweight, obese. So now based on this category, I got the BMI chart related rules. Example, if BMI is less than this. Now, when you got the formula, when you got the rules, is it possible to code it? Is it possible to code it using conditional statements? What do you say, developers? Yes or no? You can just speak, or I can't see, or I'm not seeing anything. Just you can say yes or no, or the mic. Can we code it or not?
Yes, sir.
We can code it. Now see this, all the 4 points which we are able to know, like I'm a Python guy, I got the rules or I got the formula from the team or from the manager. I got the BMI chart again from the team or the manager. I just code it. My task is so simple. So if I am learning only programming skills, if I'm very good with programming skills, yes, I can achieve this kind of task. It's so simple. So when you are getting to machine learning, so before going to the machine learning, let's understand few things. So who created this chart or who created these rules if BMI is less than 18.5? So these rules are created by a programmer or these rules are created by someone from the, like we can say, health department. Who created these rules? Is it a guy who is having a huge amount of knowledge on fitness or health and body mass index and all this, or he's just a programmer? Who created this? Please use the mic and please speak. Who created this? The rules are developed by a programmer or the rules are developed by an SME. Who created this? Who can create this kind of rules? Who created these rules? Please. Who created this BMI rules? He need to be an expert in body mass index or anyone can create the rules? That's my question. Anyone can create the rules or he must be an expert from body mass index or health department?
You must be an expert.
Anyone can.
He must be
It's
an expert.
expert.
Anyone can create it. Oh my
Expert.
God. So he need to be an expert.
Expert.
Now, the rules in your college are created by management or students create the rules. Hey, you need to come by this time. You need
Management.
to, absolutely,
Management.
the management, right? You need to clear the internals. You need to get the credits. You need to give perform good. So all these things are created by the management. So why management is creating the rules? They are aware of the system. If these rules are not there, if these rules are not well defined, I think students are unable to perform. So that's where you are knocking the door of your management. Now, if management is giving the rules, can you code it? Is it possible to code it? If management is giving the rules, to whom we need to issue a college certificate or to whom we need to issue the pass, can you code it using your programming ability?
Yes.
Absolutely, we can do it. So that is purely a developer role. But when you're getting into machine learning, when you need to go for machine learning is, again, first thing, I knew Python. Very good. Oh my God, it is very good like your, this is ML role as ML or AI engineer. So next comes, I don't know any formula. And the third thing, even though you know formula, for example, I don't know any formula, or even though You know the formula, so you can't actually do anything, even though you know the formula. Third thing is you don't know any rules. Is it difficult? I think when you don't know any rules, how can you make something to happen? So you don't know anything, any rules here, but you want to achieve a task. What is the task? I think you don't know any rules, but it need to automatically give the recommendations in Instagram. You don't have any rules, you need to automatically recommend the things in YouTube. My God. You don't have any rules, but you just need to provide the predictions in your text. Pathetic. You don't know any rules, but you need to just listen and you want to give some drawings out there. Crazy. Is it crazy? See this? I think there are no rules. The developers are not writing any rules, but it is able to do a task. Is it crazy? What do you say? You developers, is it crazy or not? There are no rules at all, but
Yes,
it
sir.
is able to do the task. So that is crazy. So how the machines are able to get the rules? So here comes, as I said, when there are no rules, we are using these three things. What are the three things? Math plus business, or I just removing business here. I can say math plus domain plus, so data. I'm using math plus domain plus data. So I'm using this three combo in order to construct the rules by the machine, how exactly it is doing. Let us understand one of the very simple equation called as math. So let's take one of the simple mathematical equation. So how can I understand? For example, let's understand this Instagram more precise. Now, when you are going and clicking on an Instagram, it is able to give a recommendation similar to that. Is there any mathematical equation which speak about similarity? Is there any mathematical equation which speak about similarity? When someone is going to an Instagram, clicking on a post, it need to give the recommendations of the similar kind of post. Similarity. Is there any mathematical equation in your, is there any mathematical equation which speak about similarity? Yes, there is a mathematical equation which speak about similarity. What is that? Do you remember this equation, Euclidean distance? Square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Are you aware of it? Are you aware of this in your schooling? Square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
Once confirmed. Are you aware of it? Yes. So just give me a moment. I want to get my writing pad. Just give me a moment. Yep. So now you're able to see my screen, isn't it? Now let me show you one more example. Now when there are two different points, so x1 comma y1, and there is another point x2 comma y2. If I want to identify a difference between these two things, whether they are similar or not, you can use a mathematical equation called as Euclidean distance, which we learned it in our school, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. And we can do one more thing. Let me show you one more example. You're able to see this particular equation. And before we are going to this equation, again, let us go back to the developer mode. So as a developer, if I share you If I share you this kind of rules, can you code it? So this data is related to playing a golf. When outside, you need to check outlook. If the outlook is sunny, you need to check humidity. If the humidity is normal, you need to say this person going to play the cricket. Let's take an example like he going to play the cricket than say golf. So now again, you are looking at the outlook. If the outlook is overcast, he's playing the cricket. Again, you are checking the outlook. If it is rainy and if there is a huge amount of wind, no, he may not play the cricket. If there is no wind, he's going to play the cricket. In this way, I provided some rules. Is it seriously possible for you to code it using if statements or using conditional statements? Is it possible? Just say yes or no. Is it possible to code it? Yes. It is possible to code it. Now, just take a small example. Now here we got hardly 14 records. There are 14 records. Now, from the 14 records, we are able to build the rules manually. We are checking it and we are doing it. But just imagine if there are 1,40,000 records. Can you manually understand the rules? It's impossible. And no one has given the rules like that, like a pictorial thing, just to hard code it. Now, what to do? Here comes again mathematical equation. Probability of A by B is equal to probability of B by A into probability of A divided by probability of B. So here probability of A and all this comes into Bayes theorem. I want to calculate probability. Now today, for example, the evening I will be playing the golf around 5 o'clock. So the probability of playing the golf when the temperature is cool. So in order to calculate this, I will be going with probability of cool when it is yes into probability of S divided by probability of cool. So I can calculate this. So what is probability of S? Equal to overall records 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And in that, how many are S? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 by 14. And what is the probability of cool? So probability of cool equal to again 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 4 by 14. So what is the probability of cool when it is yes? So I want to take only S conditions, 9 S conditions. In that, how many are cool? So this is no. So probability of cool when it is yes, one condition. Probability of cool when it is yes, one condition. Probability of cool when it is yes. So 3 by 9. If you substitute it into this equation, 3 by 9 into so 9 by 14 divided by 4 by 14. So 9 get cancelled. So it is 3 by 4. The chances of playing a golf when it is cool is 0.75 chances. Now, in this way, we have a mathematical equations. With the help of this mathematical equation, so what is there inside machine learning algorithms? What is there inside machine learning algorithms? Is it rules or is it mathematical equations? What is there inside machine learning algorithms? Is it rules or is it mathematical equations? Can anyone speak? What is there inside machine learning algorithms? Now I gave two examples. One is an example of similarity and another one is related to this particular probability. So what is there inside ML algorithms? Can anyone? I can't listen to your voices.
Yes, anyone please, students?
So what is there inside machine learning algorithm? Is it rules? So inside machine learning algorithms, we got mathematical equations. So as a developer, what you do, for example, the logics which you write, are designed with respect of mathematical equations or with the rules. As a developer, the one you write it down, is it with what? With respect to the rules. But when you're getting into machine learning, mathematical equations are doing. So in this case, in this Excel sheet, we are able to understand two things. Now we are able to see what is there inside machine learning. It is mathematical equations. So you need to have the data. So as a developer, is there any need for a data? Not required. So the management who are creating the rules for a students, they already have the data. They saw a lot of students. So by looking at a lot of students, they came to know this is the kind of rules they need to generate. So now here, the data is not provided to the programmer, but the data is provided to the machine. So now here we done the same thing. So what we are doing, this data, we are passing it inside the mathematical equation. So it is able to give us the kind of probabilities. With the help of probabilities, we are able to make the decisions. So we are able to understand this two things. What is that? So one is mathematical equations, another one is data, plus domain knowledge. Now, if you change the wrong data, if you provide the wrong data, can you get the right rules? Or can we get the right decisions? You are feeding in the wrong data. One of the simple example, I want to take it to the human. So our future choices, is it dependent upon the circle or upon the people we are surrounded with? The decisions we make to your future, the dreams you have on your future, is it dependent on the data which you are surrounded with? Yes or no? You can use chat or etc. Is it surrounded with that? Can't see any confirmations, either a raise hand or etc. The choices which you have it for your future, is it dependent on the data you are surrounded with? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So now, for example, um, the way you are having means like the very simple example I will be giving it is if you born in a business family, so now your dream going to be like getting into the engineering, or after that cracking, you born in a very good business family, your goal going to be like same thing, like cracking, getting an engineering, after engineering like getting some, going to ms and getting a job, or after btech getting a campus placement. This going to be your dream, or it going to be deferred? It's going to be a bit deferred. It may not be the same. Or you born in a very good what is that celebrity family where your entire family members are heroes, heroines, and various actors, or they do advertisement, their entire life is all about this one, the celebrity lifestyle. So do you dream about the same thing? Hey, you're getting good marks, joining this kind of machine learning workshop, or attending this kind of trainings and preparing the resume? Is this your goal? I think you are born in a celebrity family, this is going to be your goal. Is it so?
No, sir.
You're born in a cricketer's family. I think where exactly all your family members are cricketers. So now, do you dream about going with again same engineering, computer science, again trying for a government jobs or trying for MS? Is that your dream? You're born in a cricket family, cricketers. Again, no. So all your cricketers are also in India team, not exactly. So are you born in a politic family? Oh my God, I think all your family members are CMs, PMs. My God, I think so crazy. MLAs, MPs. Now again, is your goal is like same, like studying engineering, getting a government job, right? Is it your dream going for MS, masters? Is that your dream? Joining this kind of workshops, getting such, not exactly. So our entire data is dependent on your domain knowledge, we call it as. So in order to give you the right data, what is important is domain knowledge. So now let's take an example, me. So now I'm the parent, I want to train, for example, I'm into a celebrity family, I will be having one type of knowledge, one type of rules in my brain. I will be having some sort of beliefs in my brain based on that I will be guiding my kids. So I born in a family where my entire things, I'm as a farmer. and where I struggled with lack of education. So I train my kids with what type of data I always speak with my kids is, hey, son, see, now you need to have a very good education. So now this is not what you need to do. So not exactly I born into some other family. Again, I'm like in a very good IAS officer, or I'm a kind of from this department. I train my kids in another way. So what you are as a father, I try to guide the same thing. Now, in order to work on machine learning or data science or AI, the domain knowledge here is very important. Now, who can build or who can collect the right data? The way faculties can collect the right data of the students, what to be collected. So now your students can collect the right data. Very simple example. People who are very good with the games, they know the what key cheat codes they need to use it. So now if I compare or if I create a competition between, for example, what is that? Current education means like you people, for example, on games versus your fathers, can you actually compete with your fathers and who going to win? On games, you going to win or your father's going to win? Who going to win? When you take the games, who going to have the right cheat codes? You going to have it or your father's going to have the right cheat codes for your games? Who going to play PUBG so good? You or your father? Who going to play the PUBG so good? Again, the answer is you going to play the PUBG so
Obviously,
good.
yes.
So now, absolutely, the domain knowledge here, we call it as PUBG. The knowledge on spending time on PUBG, we call it as domain knowledge. If you are spending very long time on fashion, dresses, and all that, yes, you have a lot of knowledge on that. What dress to wear, what type of hairstyle to go with. Your fathers don't have that awareness, but you have it. So, what bikes you need to roam? Again, your domain knowledge is surrounded with what your friend circle. In your friend circle, all the people are driving Harley Davidson. Or just imagine in your friend circle, everyone are driving Harley Davidson. Do you ask your father to buy Royal Enfield or you ask him to buy Harley Davidson? What you ask him? Do you feel that achievableness when you buy a Royal Enfield? When all your friend circle is driving Harley Davidson, coming to schools or colleges on a Harley Davidson, do you think to buy a Royal Enfield? What do you say? Our entire friend circle is driving Harley Davidson. Do you think to buy a Royal Enfield or you wait until you get that money to buy Harley Davidson? What you do? What is your choice? You wait until you get that money to buy a Harley Davidson. So here I call it as domain. So the expertise on the way you collect the data is dependent on the domain knowledge. So without a domain knowledge, you can't actually get the right data. Without the right data, can you get the right decisions? Without the right data, without the right domain knowledge, can you get the right decisions?
No.
Let us make the sequence like this. So you need to have a domain knowledge. Here, the domain knowledge is you are playing the game in PUBG from a very long time. So that very long time in PUBG is called as a domain knowledge. Based on that, you can collect the right data. When this right data is fed inside a math, you are able to get decisions. Got it? So this is the sequence. So now, what is the domain knowledge? You are spending so very long time on fashion. Based on that fashion, you try to collect the right data, what to buy, what not to buy. So there is some probabilities in your brain, or there is some mathematical equations. Based on that, you make some decisions. So this is the sequence: domain knowledge, data plus math. It's going to give you the decisions. So this is called as this mathematical equations. You code it. Normally, you can take this mathematical equations alone. We call it as data mining. The same math, when you are able to mix it, math plus, or we can say data plus math plus programming is equal to your machine learning. So now, whatever the data, you are collecting that data with the help of great domain knowledge. And when you mix that with the math, and when you do it with the programming, you are able to get the machine learning, the decision making you are able to get. So that's what we are able to achieve it as a ML engineer. So when you need to go for a machine learning, when to go for a programming skills. So now when you already got rules, is it needed to go to machine learning? When you already know the rules, is it needed to go to machine learning? When you already know the rules, is it needed to go to machine learning? No. When you don't know the rules, then you need to go to programming or you need to go to machine learning. When you don't even know the rules.
Machine learning.
Machine learning.
Absolutely. We need to go to machine learning when we don't even know anything about the rules. So now again, when we can go to programming, now see, in the programming, the rules are static or dynamic. Rules
Static.
are static. Absolutely, they
Static.
are static. Why they are static? The rules which I have written, they are common for anyone. But this one, their rules are static or dynamic. So the rules are changing from customer to customer in Instagram. The rules are changing. For example, if you take you five people are there. So the way you get your Instagram suggestions in your feed, does it changes from person to person? You can take your five friends, take five phones, compare it. The rules are different. The way you get in the search of your Instagram, is it different from all the five people? The rules are dynamic. The way you get the recommendations in Vintra differs. The way you get the text predictions differs. The way you get why it is different, why the rules are different, why it is not differing in programming, why it is differing here, why it is differing, why rules are differing in machine learning.
Solving many questions.
So math and programming are same, but data, does the data changes from your friend to friend? The way
Yes.
you interact in your phone, does it change from friend to friend? The way you watch in your YouTube, does it change from friend to friend? The way you use your chat in your phone, does it vary from your phone to other friend? Yes. So the data is changing. When data is changing, so the same mathematical equation, the same programming, but what is happening? The rules are differing. Why? The data is different. Got it? Is it clear? Is it clear? Able to understand everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you got the difference. What is the difference between a programming and a machine learning? So in order to be a machine learning standalone, programming skills are required, or you need to have a knowledge about math, a knowledge about a bit how to collect the data. All these things are required or not?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, they are required. And I'm just now just let me show you one more topic. As we discussed, one more thing. Our entire machine learning, AI, all these things are running on top of what? We are able to get a huge amount of data when we are feeding inside ML or AI. We are able to get what? Value, or we are able to get efficiency, or we are able to get financial savings, or we are able to get what is that? Automation. So these are the three things. So if your machine learning is not giving any of these four things, is there any point of doing machine learning?
No, sir.
There is no point. So now whatever you are doing, for example, this is the role of a ML engineer. So what is the role of a web developer?
Make websites.
You get the requirement, WD, web developer, going to build what?
Websites.
So what is the purpose of website?
It helps us to know about the company or the brands. That's all about the website is.
Is this the point, serious?
Advertising.
To get more customers, to get more sales, or to build awareness, or even to marketing. Is it right? Website is
Yes.
primarily a
Advertising.
marketing channel. Primarily, website is a marketing channel. Is it right? Is it a platform to market?
Yes.
Absolutely. So website is a platform of marketing. Now, a few people can mute it. There is some noise. You can unmute and you can mute as well once you are done. Now, see, now why I showcase two things. As a CSE people, you need to have these two differences. Now, one is like whenever you are studying in your college and all that, one of the very important skill you need to learn is about how your skills are going to help to the companies. That's what we call it as deliverables. So now you basically learn Python, you learn data structures and algorithms, you learn your Java, you learn your .NET, you learn your SQL and all that. So always be a very good programmer. or a very good person or a very good with the talent. Why? In the sense, so every company need a particular. Let me. I'm stop sharing the screen. Yeah. So now, what exactly every company needed from you is now, for example, I want to hire you in my company. Now, what exactly the goal I expect from you is I have a requirement in my brain. I want some sort of website, or I want some sort of different requirement in my brain. So you need to be in a position to solve it. So when I'm hiring a fresher, like you people, like BTech people, when I'm hiring the freshers, the basic expectation I will be having is the same thing. When I'm giving a task, they are able to achieve it and they are able to submit to me. That is one of the primary expectations I will be having from every person. So for example, if I'm hiring a fresher, they are like one thing I can find it from a fresher when I compare it with an experienced is experienced people, I can't use them for whatever the means I wanted. For example, they are experienced in web development, I can't use them to work on database. They say, hey, you can get another database guy. Or there is another person who is very good experienced with machine learning, I can't use him for web development. But there is a fresher, he got a very good programming ability, I can guide them based on my requirement. Can make them to work overtime. But we want one important parameter from the freshers is they can do anything, they are not giving up or coming up with excuses. So when we are giving a task, they are able to achieve it, they are quick at learning, they are able to adopt to new programming languages, they can make the things possible what the managers or someone else are dreaming about. So that is the potential we have it as a freshers. So next thing is every time understand the deliverables. Okay, the purpose of website is a marketing channel. So in order to create an awareness, in order to build the sales, in order to get the more customers, already there are a lot of free websites. Like we have Wix, we have WordPress, we got a lot of websites where with the minimal things they are able to achieve. Then who going to hire a web developer? Absolutely, every company need a web developer. So even to manage the things with Wix, or in order to manage the things with WordPress, or in order to build the things based on the company requirement, all the things what a company need, they don't find it in Wix or WordPress. They want to hire a developer, they will be guided. Now for the same website, I want to build an intelligence, then I will be going and using machine learning. So now you people know machine learning. Then if someone is asking, hey, I can write a website with how you're writing it, I can write the rules. Then why to go for machine learning? Hey, if the task is more dynamic, if you want to go with more customized, then we are knocking the door of machine learning. So web development plus machine learning, we can use it. That's what the examples I gave it by showcasing a web app like Gmap, or I showcased, for example, let me showcase you one more thing. This is another one. I can just choose a file. I can choose the file and I can click on predict. I'm just giving the images, like this is a scanned eye image. When I uploaded the scanned eye image, it is able to say whether there is a glaucoma or there is no glaucoma. Yeah, it is able to say your retinal scan shows that you have a glaucoma. Please undergo further screening. So now this kind of simple things, I can just means if I'm uploading an image, I can do it. Or this kind of facility, if possible, I can create a sunglasses in case, or I can create normal eyeglasses which can detect the glaucoma, the possibility of getting a glaucoma. So this kind of simple notifications, it is not exactly saying you got a glaucoma, it is giving some kind of notification, or it is giving some kind of disclaimer, or it is giving some kind of warning message. So try to go and further go for a screening. This kind of things we can do it with respect to AI/ML. So if you want to build intelligence dynamic, but there are no rules available, in order to say how can this eye going to be a glaucoma, I need to study the entire eye related information. I want to be an eye doctor, only then I can make a statement about when it's going to be a glaucoma or not, or at least there need to be some rules. So without learning anything on eye, you are able to build it with the help of right data, right domain knowledge, and the right mathematical things. So if you are trying to get into machine learning field or AI field, so it's not just programming, it's but more than programming. So programming is limited till writing the rules, but machine learning is able to help us to build the rules and to do it. This is also a web app. So Mintra is a web app. So Amazon is a web app. So your Swiggy is a web
Excuse
app.
me, sir.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but your screen is not visible to us.
1 second. You are unable to see
Yes, sir. We are not seeing your screen.
now.
No, yes, sir. Now we can see. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So again, let me show you if you want. So let me just refresh it. Now I uploaded the image called eye glaucoma. It is able to give me this prediction. Your retinal scan shows that you have glaucoma. Please undergo further screening. If you want, I can click on this choose button. It is able to give me to choose from my system. I can just choose this eye image, click on this, click predict. So it is able to say this. Your retinal scan shows that you have a glaucoma. So in this way, you are able to go for this kind of predictions. So the examples which I said, normally whenever we think about ML or AI, we always think about a Tesla car, which is an AI, or a robot, which can just walk or which can just see. So now this ML or AI is called as intelligence. This intelligence can be plugged into anywhere. Now the same thing which I showcased here, E Delhi, DALI is also one of the example of AI. So it is able to take the input as your text data and it is able to generate the images like a common sense. So like a particular artist. So now I'm saying, hey man, you just need to draw eyes with a dinner or with a candle setup. So he is thinking with his common sense, he's just using his drawing skills and he's going for it. So I'm saying, hey, I want a digital art or I want a particular astronaut on top of a bike. So this kind of things it is able to give it to me. So it's all depends upon the common sense. So we call it as common sense to our AI models, or we call it as our dark matter of artificial intelligence. So now if you have any queries, you can just ask me. I can just clarify your doubts. So any doubts you have, you can just ask me. I can just clarify you. You can unmute and you can speak and you can ask your doubts.
Yes, students. Dipti, any message in the chat?
No message, I think so. No message.
No, no messages.
So if you have any questions, you can ask me. I can go with Q&A. Any questions, you can just ask me.
Dipti?
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. I have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
Sir, as there are not many opportunities for the students on entry level for the data scientist role.
True.
So, sir, should we focus on software development engineer role or like data science role? Because software development engineer role pay is higher than that machine learning engineers. Because a data scientist needs to be experienced for 2 to 3 years. So, sir, what
Yes.
should we focus upon? Like on data science skills or app development, web development skills?
Now, what I personally suggest you is having the knowledge on software development is one of the very important skill. So with software development skill, try to build knowledge about your data science and ML. That is an add-on. So primary focus is on software development. When you are able to have the primary knowledge on software development, you have that flexibility to build an app with machine learning. So you have software development plus machine learning knowledge. You can create a web app or you can create a mobile app with the same thing. So plus, I think you even have a knowledge about blockchain. Again, we write all the blockchain thing using software development itself, using the OOPS. We can write down the blockchain things. So when you have that software knowledge, if why in the sense only standalone machine learning, we can use it. But even to make it more like a product, I want a software engineer. So like you people are computer science and you can use this benefits. So software development plus machine learning if you wanted. So, but in case if you get an opportunity, even you will be getting into software development plus you can work on machine learning as well. So why in the sense you already have some good projects in your profile that going to help you. So personal choice is software development. Next, even learn machine learning. And even if anyone can learn it, software development plus machine learning is your deliverable. Your resume also need to be with the same thing, software development and lot of projects on machine learning. That is a very good advantage.
And sir, like SDA roles pays are higher than machine learning engineers roles. So what should we like
Which pays are higher than machine learning roles? Software developer
SDA
roles.
roles? Yes, sir.
Yeah, software developer roles are comparatively high than machine learning roles. Absolutely. So go for software developer, but learn machine learning as well. The reason why I'm saying even machine learning is there is a bar to software development up to some extent. So when you're able to have machine learning, that is an means it's not in a salary point of view. I'm saying as a functionality point of in your software development. So you can the same example I gave it right now. So with the software development, you can do the functionality up to rules, which are static rules. But by having machine learning, you can add a functionality with a dynamic rules. So in that point, even it is an advantage. So it's going to help you.
Yes, sir. We
So
have received another question.
Yeah.
So the question is it better to code the ML model ourselves or use libraries?
So there are two ways. Again, we can say two, or we can say three ways. One, AutoML. You no need even to call any algorithm or a library or a function. You can just feed in the data. It automatically test with different algorithms, gives you the final ML model. Or second approach is you have a knowledge about algorithms like what is decision trees or what is linear regression or what is a logistic. Based on that, you choose the relevant algorithm and you code it. That is second, means like by using libraries, by using sklearn or H2O or PySpark, by using any of these libraries, you basically code it. And the third way is like going with a custom model building. That's what I can call it as, by understanding the research papers, by understanding the theory behind algorithm, you code it using OOPS concepts. That is another approach. So that last one is this. So if your model is demanding the accuracy is not up to the mark, the performance of your model is not up to the mark, then you go to the last one, which is custom models. Without using any libraries, you are hard coding it. These are the three different approaches.
So another question. There are a lot of sources for ML, but we don't know which
Mhm.
roadmap should we follow. So can you please help us in that?
So the roadmap for machine learning is pretty much simple. As I always plan towards, it's like Python, the very first thing which you need to learn. So when you are a CSE guy, already you'll be having a very good knowledge on Python. Next, having a knowledge about Python, you need to have a knowledge about stats. It helps us to collect the right data, how to collect the right data in order to understand it. Statistics knowledge is important. After having a knowledge about statistics, a sum of with the Python you can do visualizations. Why in the sense whatever the data you collected, you need to understand it. So in order to understand it, we do EDA, exploratory data analysis. So the roadmap here is Python, which we are the entire flow of machine learning, we do it on Python. So first we are learning Python as an ingredient. Next, in order to collect the data, to understand the data, whether this data is sufficient or not, we need to have a knowledge about statistics. And in order to understand the data, we do some visualizations as well. For that reason, even visualization knowledge is required. That visualizations can be done using Python or R programming or Tableau, any of these tools, you can use it. And plus, if your data is not in the shape or if the data is not in the format of what is needed, you need to shape it as well. That's what data cleaning we call it as. And all this data may be stored in a database, so you need to have a knowledge about databases. So without a proper database knowledge, that would be difficult. Even a database knowledge is also important. So once you had all this knowledge, now comes the machine learning concepts. Now you need to learn about machine learning, which is supervised, which is unsupervised. Again, if you want to know about machine learning, there is a lot more drill down. This is the drill down let me show you. So in order to get a very good accuracy with machine learning, you need to know the features. Again, in that features, you have feature scaling. Again, in feature transformation, you have feature transformation techniques. And again, there are different types of algorithms. When the data is time-based, you go with forecasting algorithms like ARIMA, SARIMA, exponential, LSTM, RNN, FB-Profit, DPR. For every algorithm, there is a math behind. Again, if the output is continuous, regression algorithms. Again, for every algorithm, the math behind. Again, if the data is discrete, again, there are classification algorithms. Again, for every algorithm, there is a math behind. Again, if the data is image, you have again two types, transfer learning and own architecture, own algorithms, like using VGGNet, ResNet, GoogleNet, MobileNet, or CNNs, RCNNs, faster, or if the data is text, again, word to vec topic modeling. In this way, this is all the tree we have it. So when you're going with machine learning, you don't need to learn all this, but at least few types of data. When the data is discrete, when the data is continuous, you can start initially with these two techniques. Once you got a good knowledge, then you can expand towards images. You can expand over text. In this way, you can build the knowledge. And the entire machine learning is dependent on the three things: features, model, or we can say algorithms, and your sample. So as I said, database. Next is math, or I can say algorithm knowledge. So like feature selection, scaling, technique knowledge, or what is the math behind each and every algorithm. So again, algorithm based on the type of the data you collected. So that knowledge you need to build it. Once you got that all this knowledge, now machine learning is pointless if you are able to just get some accuracies. You need to deploy it. You need to build that API. So you create that API having the deployment knowledge. You use it. You can do it with Django. You can do it with Streamlit. You can do it with Heroku. So this is the minimum roadmap or minimum knowledge a person need to learn to get into machine learning field. So now comes the marketing pitch. Now you want to differentiate you from the other people in the market. So what are the type of projects people are working? They work basically on the regular house pricing data or some basic research data or some basic things which are happening. So now your goal is not to work as a PhD. PhD in the sense you working as faculty or working into all this. That is more like research and development, where your goal is more about, so by mixing feature scaling, some techniques versus some mathematical equations, there is an improvement in accuracy. That is all research field. So your goal is getting into research or your goal is getting into a company. If you are going to a company, your goal and your target is how you can add a value. So now placing some projects which can derive a value with machine learning. So placing them in your resume or creating that prototypes in the resume or creating that things in your LinkedIn, that creates some uniqueness to your resume or to your LinkedIn. So that's where you get that attraction or traction from the interviewers or from your faculty. Hey, this guy do very good. So referral happens, or if this person do this kind of thing so good, some you get some contacts. All these things happens, that marketing pitch you want to create it. So once you complete all this, now create some products, create something of value driven. Or my goal is like I want to get into research field, my goal is primarily into research. Then try to work on different research paper publishing, try on different techniques, research it, test with mathematical equations. That need to be your goal. Your goal is getting into a company, creating prototypes or APIs. The prototypes example is this. I showcased the glaucoma. So, or this is a where is that? This Chimap is a prototype, or this is a prototype. Even this is a prototype. So now this is able to create some images. What is the use of this? So why we need to create? If some you created this kind of app, you just need to have this model is able to interact by anyone. Even I can type it, it is interacting. So create this kind of prototypes so you can showcase your work, why you created it, have some theory or have some value behind it. That creates an impact or differencing from your friends or from your student circle or BTech circle or CSE circle. So course is different, your resume is different. Resume need to have a marketing pitch, so you always need to differentiate you from other people. So course can be anything. You can learn um, huge amount of information, but if you can't differentiate you from other people, the marketing is not working. Once the marketing is done, sales, how well you are able to convince you in the interview, how well you can convince yourself about you into the interview, that is your sales skills. Try to master these two skills as well, that would be sufficient. That is the overall roadmap.
Okay, so another one. Out of PyTorch and TensorFlow, which is better and easier for beginners?
I personally suggest TensorFlow, then PyTorch. PyTorch is also good, but TensorFlow and PyTorch both are simple and easy. There is nothing much different. If you know deep learning theory is so good, PyTorch is easy, and TensorFlow is also easy. Go with TensorFlow. That's going to give you a lot of potential in the market as well, job market point of view.
And also, sir, if you could give us some spoiler about tomorrow's part on ML workshop.
Uh, Yeah, tomorrow primarily we'll be working on coding part of how machine learning going to work, like how we do end-to-end process on machine learning. I'll be showcasing one simple prototype. You get an idea. So that's what we discuss on tomorrow primarily.
Um, Another one, sir. As many of us are in our third or second year of a college, at this point of time, which type of project should we work on as a data science student or an AIML student?
So what I suggest to you is if you people are into second, third, and even we can plan it like this. So let's build the profile in a point of marketing pitch every time. As I say, your profile or your things you do it in BTech, everything we need to see in a point of marketing pitch. So studying in VIT or studying in CSC or studying in IIT or studying in whatever the college is, it's a marketing pitch. You are trying to create the difference from other people. Hey, I'm an IIT, VIT guy. It's a difference. So now again, second year or third year, the projects which are working, the mini projects. So in case if you like second year, you can plan machine learning. Third year, you can plan NLP project. Third year, you can plan deep learning project or computer vision project or bird project or RNNs, RCNNs, this kind of projects you can try. So 3 years, three different types of projects. Second year, you worked on machine learning. The third year, you worked on NLP. And the fourth year, you worked on deep learning. Even to make it, you have more time, even you can try or add reinforcement learning as well, if possible. So, these three things or four things you can imbibe it in your project work. This is a sequence. Even if anyone see your project, they get an idea. Okay, this guy first worked on machine learning. That is the curve. A bit complex than machine learning NLP, more complex than NLP deep learning. Again, more complex reinforcement learning. In this way, if you place that makes more sense.
Also, sir, do you personally believe that experiential learning helps better than just theoretical learning?
Absolutely. Even I'm also a guy from what I feel is very simple logic. Uh, you can learn more than the theory, you can learn more in the working of it. So that is a simple choice. Means I always believe the simple game. Now, when you're able to watch a YouTube video on how to cook a biryani for 300 times or 300 hours, or even if you take a certificate from someone from YouTube on cooking a biryani, you can never be a good chef when you go to the kitchen. Find a sense, all the 300 hours you are spending only on watching a video. So you make mistakes when you start cooking the biryani. You may just add more salt, or you may go with more what is that masala, or you may add the water portion may not be good. You need to make mistakes. The first time you make a mistake, again the second time you do it better, third time you do better, fourth time you do better. That's how I always see this process. All housewives initially they don't cook very good very cooked food, but once they are transforming as a mothers, then they come up with a very good chefs. Why? In the sense they always try to cook the food what kids are liking it, what they love the taste, so they always keep on upgrading themselves. So that's what happens with a learner as well. So now you can never be a perfect person until and unless you go and start doing mistakes. So the same thing with car example, the same thing with cricket example. You can never be a good cricketer until you go to the pitch and you start playing it. So again, the practice, it's not about again the practice makes a man perfect. It's all about complexity. You need to change the complexity as well. So now just imagine, so someone said practice makes a man more perfect. So I'm playing the cricket every day with a My age is like I'm a BTech guy. I'm playing the cricket with the second class or third class people or a fifth class people. Every day I'm playing it from last 20 years. I can never be a good cricketer. In order to be a very good cricketer, every time I need to increase the complexity, the tough bowlers, the tough team. So I need to get used to that. Once the team is tough, the first day, if I spend time for the next 1 month, that same tough team may not be as tough as possible. It's going to be used. So every time you need to change that circle, that complexity need to be increased. So don't be that persons who listen to the things but try to spend time. So even to be a quick programmer, to resolve the errors quickly, or in order to get a job into the things. So your BTech is a platform where you can do all the errors, all the mistakes, trial and error, thinking out of the box. Why in the sense even I always feel regret. Now when I'm a BTech, I'm a last venture. Basically I used to have an attendance of 20%, 35%, 40%. Don't be impressed with all this, but this is my attendance. I used to get into the coordinations and all this. That's my basic BTech thing, and I'm a mechanical guy. And but one thing is I never had the backlogs. The only reason why I don't have a backlogs is very simple. Again, a simple strategy in my brain. So if I'm allocating 4 hours or if I'm spending very less time right now, so again, in order to clear the backlog, I need to spend more time. This time I spend only 2 hours. Again, if I'm unable to give good in the exam, again, one more 2 hours in the backlog, or again, one more 2 hours. End of the day, I need to give the same number of hours. Why can't I give it right now? So I used to prepare so hard like that when the point of exams. But I used to means like I used to get marks and all that, but I'm not a very good student. But once I've got into the job, once I got into data science, once I'm learning all this, I used to feel regret. Man, if I'm into the student, if I'm into the college, I just want to be a very good student where I'm not missing one of the class. I want to utilize the faculty. So now even when you see things from the faculty point of view as well, faculty comes with a very huge curiosity to deliver something. But when students are like, that's so cool. I think even these people feel, oh my God, I think this is the kind of thing faculty feels it. Even I came to know all these challenges when I'm a faculty, when I'm doing the things, okay, faculties are struggling so hard to create that impression to the students. And yes, students are like that. Absolutely. Why doesn't even I'm a student? So I came to know we need to enjoy, we need to chill, all these things going to happen. So every time this view changes, so what I personally suggest is I saw all this, and once I'm doing all this, I feel uh, you need to be so attentive in the classes, practicing, and then chill. It's a combo of fusion, learning plus enjoyment. Make this as your simple formula. So don't only focus on enjoyment, or else don't focus only on the studies as well, but fusion of both the things. And yes, I always feel that if I'm a student back again, I want to sit in the first bench. I want to prepare all my notes. I want to practice from the day one, not on the point of exams. Like one day before the exams, I want to spend everyday time. It's a practice pitch, like an athlete. Like every day is a practice. So you see the results after 4 years. So if you follow this, yes, I think it's going to be a bit difference in your career. This is something I learned it. There is no rule that you need to apply it. It's something which I got it.
And sir, any tips for getting started with competitions on Kaggle?
Yeah, Kaggle competitions are good. Again, DSA competitions are good. Lead Code, Hacker Rank, all this start from it. And Kaggle, first before going to the Kaggle, try to take a lot of practice from different things. And once you got good hands on this, you can just take up any Kaggle competitions and you can start working on it. So every time the key of Kaggle competition is getting a very good accuracy. So first try around the speed. You need to have it. So the good techniques, combination of good techniques, giving a good accuracy is very important in Kaggle combinations. You can try this. Even learn
And
DSA as well. DSA is also a bit important for data science. Not in lines of writing code with means like it's DSA helps us in interview calls and all that. Sometimes people ask DSA skills as a filtering criteria.
right. And so, how much important research-based products are for data science domain?
You mean like research papers or research based products? Like research papers.
Research based projects.
Research-based
Project.
projects.
Yeah, I think that they are research-based projects. They are helpful. Means like if you are able to publish any papers and all that, that's going to help the profile. Why in the sense, end of the day, research experience is a bit needed in machine learning field. Why in the sense, machine learning is still a research field. So rather than just blindly using all the existing techniques, having a research-based projects always helps the professionals or the students to be a bit different in the industry. Always, research is always important. It changes the view on machine learning.
Participants, if anyone else is having any questions, you can drop down in the chat box. Um, so what helps more, like research papers or projects?
So research papers is a one wing. In order to get the interview calls, projects are important. And to build the knowledge, research papers are important. So these two things are a different thing. So if you are planning towards building great knowledge, research papers. So working on projects related to your interviews that helps you to get calls and all that is your projects. So in interview, the basic questions they ask is very two questions they ask it. One, tell me about yourself, and the second one is tell me about your project. So that your project need to be primarily about what you are doing. So what is the value you added? That's what they ask it. So focus on both. So in case if you have a time, one project work on research paper, and another one you can work as you can final project can be some real project, and the mini project and all this can be your research based projects.
Uh, One more question, sir. Can you please tell the skills needed for data engineer role and how data engineer role is different from that of a data scientist?
Data engineer role is more about data collection. The very simple, you people are into web development. Now I got a website, and from there I need to extract the data, and I want to store it into a database, or we can call it as ingestion. So there is a huge amount of data generating in Swiggy or in Amazon. So the data need to be stored back into a data lake. So I need to take the data, I need to store it into a data lake or into a data warehouse. Again, different types of data comes in through a website. It can be a structured or it can be an unstructured data. So all this design is made by, again, what type of database you need to choose based on the type of access or type of things you need to do it with your database. Again, based on that study, creating that end-to-end architecture of data ingestion to storing the data in our system with a very good even ETL operations and all this. This entire thing means like before a data scientist or analyst going to take a write data, the entire data is very well stored in a system. The task is done by a data engineer. And even migrations, again, the data, some companies going to have their servers, they want to migrate to the cloud. Again, those migrations also like cloud migrations using AWS or Azure or GCP, all the skills are related to data engineering. In a very simple note, data storing task from a source to a database, that process of storing is handled by a data engineer. And from once the data is stored, collection of the data, doing some insights or automations are done by data analysts or data scientists or ML or AI guys.
Thanks, sir. I think we can wrap up with today's
Yeah.
workshop. Thank you all for joining. We will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. continuing with the boot camp.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We can end up the session, right?
So you can end up the session.
Yeah.
You collect the feedback